Hey everyone, real quick, sorry for the voice quality in the first 5 minutes of this video. I'll have that fixed for the next time. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Fidelis Animi, and this is the start of my Hardcore Ironman series. Now, you might be thinking, hey, you look pretty geared. This is not a fresh Hardcore Ironman. I have been at it for quite a while now. I created this account probably about half a year ago, before Twisted League came out. Played it for about 2 months. Then did Twisted League for the entirety of that duration, so took a long break and been back now for a couple months, and we've progressed quite a bit. So this first video will be a progress update of where am I in the game, and hopefully we can have some good content in the future for some more videos. Let's get into our stats. So we got ourselves up to 60 base melee stats, mainly for being able to wear our dragon equipment. We have our range, which is our primary method for training Slayer, so that's up quite high at 77. Magic got to 63, so I can enchant some Dragonstone jewelry. After that, it's just been miscellaneous teleports and so forth, and alchemy. Agility is up to 63, mainly because of getting graceful. It was also quite useful for the Elves storyline. Herblore has been getting all of our XP lamps. So that's why that has gotten quite up high now. Thieving, we haven't really even touched thieving, so all of our levels for this have been just by necessity. Crafting, however, up to 76, that was for the Amulet of Glory. That was our longest grind we've done so far in our account, for sure. Not the highest level at this point, range is now recently, but crafting definitely took the longest. Fletching, on the other hand, up to this so I could make mithril grapples. Eventually I need to get this up so I can make a rune crossbow. Slayer's coming along nicely, of course, 66. And mining is quite high, as well as smithing, mainly because I wanted to be able to mine Lovakite ore to get the Lovakane favor. Woodcutting, this is really just a side effect of other miscellaneous stuff at this level, 69. I did do the long method of fletching, getting that up, so I made a bunch of arrow shafts. So I have quite a few, I think it's like 80,000 arrow shafts now that I will eventually be able to attach feathers to and get quite a bit of experience through that and arrowheads. So that's pretty good. So what are our major accomplishments so far in terms of drops and items that we've acquired? Most of that has actually come for the melee gear setup. Our first Dragonstone piece of equipment was the Amulet of Glory. That is useful for all combat specs. That is the longest grind I've had to do on the account. We also have a Ring of Wealth. I was a little bit regretting the fact that I started with the Amulet of Glory instead of the Ring of Wealth, just because the Ring of Wealth would have sped along the process of getting the Amulet of Glory, because it makes the Lupin Teeth Half of Keys drop faster. However, having the Amulet of Glory teleports was well worth it. I am, in the end, glad with the decision, even though during the process I was regretting it a little bit. The Helm of Neziat, that's actually a pretty easy quest. It's just, I don't know, I didn't actually anticipate that quest to be so easy. I hadn't done it before, and that helm, that is just invaluable. It's so amazing. It has, the stats are just spot on. It's better than anything else really that you could get that is reasonable for the slot. So I highly recommend people to get that as soon as possible. Likewise, the fighter torso, you can get that at a very low combat level. I did, I think, around level 50 something combat. If you get into your 60s in combat though, you're more than high enough to do the attacker role, and I highly recommend that for anyone. It's super easy to get, very valuable. Great stats. The Dragon Scimitar from Monkey Madness, another easy quest, but a nice addition, huge attack boost. There was certainly a better investment I could have made than the Dragon Square Shield. That cost me 750,000 gold pieces for the right side, but it just felt so nice to have the left side drop that 750,000 gold wasted a little bit probably was worth the accomplishment of having the Dragon Square Shield. It is an upgrade anyway, so it's not a total waste of money, but I'll probably be replacing it pretty soon with the Dragon Defender anyway, once we have access to the Warriors Guild. The mage setup is also pretty good, so let me show you that. Okay, so this may not look pretty, but the Dust Battle Staff is an incredible drop. We got that from a Superior Aberrant Spectre. If you calculate the number of times an Aberrant Spectre Deviant or Superior form shows up, and the drop rate of the Dust Battle Staff at that point, it's like 1 in 30,000 Aberrant Spectres or something. So that was pretty incredible to get on our first Aberrant Spectre task. Also, the Ceradomin robe top is just incredible. The stats are amazing on it, and so I mean, that's just a hard clue scroll getting lucky, but it's a really nice drop. And honestly, I think that was from my first clue scroll. So that was really nice to get. Otherwise, just generically, I've got some bottoms and feats. I've gotten so many different mystic pieces at this point that I really, they're not even all that amazing. So magic bonus, it's fine. But this is the magic it up at the moment. As far as quests are concerned, we do have 207 quest points, along with some of the major quest lines pretty well progressed in. Recipe for Disaster has all parts finished. I can buy the dragon gloves. You probably saw that I had rune gloves earlier. That is because I just don't want to spend the 130,000. I want to wait until I can get the Barrows gloves, which will be pretty soon as I finish Desert Treasure. As far as the elf story goes, we finished Roving Elves. We cannot quite progress into Morning's End Part 1. We need some magic logs for that. Again, that's not too far off with our 69 woodcutting, but we're not going to prioritize that for the moment. For the troll storyline, we have finished My Arm's Big Adventure. Next in the list is Making Friends with My Arm. That one needed 66 fire making, 72 mining, and 60 agility. All three of which we don't have and don't plan to get for a little while. The fire making will probably be it's not the closest one, but I do plan on sitting down with Wintertot at some point. Most of our 207 quest points has been because, quite frankly, I got frustrated with constantly having to do new quests every time I got a hard clue. I just decided, let's look up all the quests needed for hard clues and just do them all. Well, it was quite a few. At this point, there's only 2 quests that are outstanding that I haven't completed that are needed for hard clues, and that's Fairy Tale Part 2, Cure for a Queen. That does need to be completed for 1 cipher clue, though I have started it for the Fairy Ring Axis. The other one is Morning's End Part 2. I can't quite progress in the Elf storyline again because of the magic logs, so I'm not too worried about that. If I get the hard clue that needs that to be done, I'll do it. I'll grind out the last 6 levels. That's not a problem. So that's all the quests. As far as the diaries go, we have the Medium Ardone diary done. That has been super valuable for all the teleports, both the allotments as well as the monastery. But also there's Pure Essence Daily that's collectible. I haven't really been good about that. I don't really plan on rune crafting a whole lot right now. I do need some Cosmix runes, so I'll probably have to get around to that at some point. For Kindarin, we do have the medium completion for that. Benefits from that are not quite as nice as some of the other ones. The bonus agility marks will be nice when we get to training agility some more. We do need that for a couple of quests. Plus, it is nice to be able to turn in the flax I get from random events for bowstrings. And the inextinguishable light source has been nice to take along with me at some places, but not super critical. Current, I do need to get around to finishing the medium for this. It's overall pretty good. You get extra fish all over the place. That means more monkfish or corombrons. The blessing is the tide for BIS. It's the same as all the other blessings I have from hard clue scrolls. The only difference is that it can teleport, so it's better to have. It's just an extra teleport you can carry around all the time. Not to mention the dynamite you can get per day if I ever do get around to blast mining. Lumbridge, this was the most important diary that I just ignored. I got Ardone very quickly because that was important, but Lumbridge took me a while to get, and I don't know why. I just didn't do it, and it's so good. The benefit of the run energy every day, 3 restores 150% bonus energy. It's just so nice when doing clue scrolls, especially in the wilderness, because I have been doing all of the wilderness hard clue scrolls, which means it's nice to just not stop running in the wilderness because it's just safer that way. Also, the alchemy is really nice to take along with Slayer tasks because there's a lot of trash drops that they're not valuable enough to high alch to waste nature runes on them, but getting free low alchs it's just free money, and that adds up. The Mauritania one I did prioritize early on in the account. That was the first medium diary I really prioritized because I really wanted the free active functus worships every day. I haven't been really using it as much, but I have a bunch of big bones stored up that I can be using. It's just, and big bones aren't as efficient, so making the trip out there every day isn't always on my priority list, and I do need to get into that because 70 prayer is required for a lot of quests and diaries. For weekly stuff, I do have a lot of things I gotta get done, or can get done. I've unlocked being able to get the buckets of sand every day. That's very nice for next crafting grind for the higher level like onyxes and so forth that I'll eventually be getting to. The farming contracts, I tend to only do those once after every Slayer task. I don't make special trips for that. Birdhouses, I've been doing that spottedly. I'm not super worried about the birdhouses. And the Tears of Guthix, I do weekly. I always try to make this into runecrafting. I am keeping my construction level up high enough so that it keeps past the runecrafting to keep the experience flowing into that. Construction is pretty easy to train, it's just a little expensive. I'm not worried about that though, because I'm making quite a bit of money from Slayer. As for my current goals, I have been trying to get a black mask. That has been an adventure. We're up to 671 kill count. That's just awful. I've even gotten the Dragon Spear, which is 1 in 8,800, before I've gotten the Black Mask. Please, Dragons, give me the Black Mask. Once we have the Black Mask, we'll begin moving on to the Slayer Helm. That's going to be pretty easy. I already have the Slayer points to buy the ability to make it, and I already have the crafting requirement, so that's not an issue. After that, we'll be moving on to imbuing that Slayer Helm, along with probably some questing, pick up some more bosses. We'll also, once we have that imbued, we're going to move on to Deviant Specters. That's kind of what started this whole Black Mask grind. Yeah, it's really nice and useful to have. I hadn't really gotten around to farming it because the Slayer tasks were easy. I finally got a forced Deviant Spectre task from Konar, so I started farming them, killed about 6 to 10 of them, and realized, this is taking a long time. They have high defense. Let's get the accuracy bonus from Black Mask, and well, here we are 671 kills later. Once we have that task done, we'll already have 80 combat, so we're going to keep grinding Slayer until we get an Iron Dragon's task, and we can finally get rid of this bone crossbow. Really, that's the ultimate goal right now. Get this bone crossbow out of here. I want a rune crossbow. Give it to me. And with that, we'll see you in the next episode.